All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new segment we are doing here at Teamed Up. It is called How We Remember. So, How We Remember is taking old games, movies, TV shows, all these different things that we saw as a kid, and how we remember them, how they made us feel, how great they were, how maybe not so great they were, and then reflecting on what they actually are now. So, we're starting off today with How We Remember Final Fantasy X. Alright, so where do I start with this game? This is by far, and I mean by far, my favorite game I've ever played in my life. Between sitting back and remember the characters that were in this game, loving Tidus, loving Yuna, like holy shit, Kamari was jumping out of fucking trees, landing on the ground, scaring the shit out of people, fucking Auron standing on rooftops, cutting fuckers up, throwing you to sin. Like, I got this game when I was 10 years old for my birthday, and it was the best birthday present I have ever received. This game, like, oh my gosh, storyline, mini games, characters, battles. This game was just holy shit. I threw probably excess of, I think I put like 500 plus hours into this game. I had a save file with like 80, 90 hours, and I was trying to 100% the game, and I realized I missed something, so I just like, fuck it, deleted it, and went back and put up another file that I put up like 240 hours. Like, this game as a kid was the coolest thing ever. Whether it was summoning Aeons, like just going for the Aeons, actually, like getting Bahamut, getting Anima, getting the sisters, trying to get all of them. The complex between Seymour and Anima, like, oh, I could go on for days. Just remembering the religious aspect of it, how it was Sin, Yu Yevon, the Aeons were holy spirits in a sense. Like, this game was, I remember it was long, and it was probably a little too long, but as a kid, it didn't matter. It did not fucking matter. I got off school, 2 o'clock, first thing I was doing, Final Fantasy X. Autosave wasn't a thing. If I didn't want to lose my spot, my PS2 stayed on all day. Did not give a fuck. Where else, or how else do I describe this game? Like, Sin's the most terrifying whale of all time. Like, I played other Final Fantasies. I played 7. I played 1, 2. Yeah, in total I played 1, 2. I played 7. I've since played 8, 10, 13, and I think those are all of them. 7, you're not going to compete with. That's the franchise poster boy. But 10 is just as good as either of them. Like, any of them. It is, oh my gosh. If I had to rate Final Fantasy X, it absolutely gets a 10 out of 10. And for me, it gets a GOAT out of 10 because it's my favorite game of all time. I think it's the best in the series. Whether you agree with that or not, that's up to you. But like I said, that's my personal favorite. How it holds up. This game, for all intents and purposes, still holds up. It's still a classic. It's got 9 out of 10 reviews across the board. Like I said, the characters are all extremely well fleshed out. From Tidus, Yuna, Kamari, Wakka, Lulu, Riku. It doesn't feel like they give you a bad character. You've got Riku for the Al Bhed side of the world. You have Tidus, obviously, as the hero, the protagonist, the fantasy in the Final Fantasy, which is the recurring theme. Seymour was a great villain. Villains are always great depending on if you can legitimately see why they got to where they were and if you can understand why their ideals are what they are. And Seymour absolutely fits that billing. Great character, great design. Yuna, one of the best female leads I've ever seen in a video game, or if you simply take it, not even as a video game, simply from a story perspective, one of the best female leads you will ever have. Auron, the wise old guy, stronger than shit. Like, than him being the connection between Braska and Yuna. Kimahri, the whole the Ronsos, Mount Gagazet, the important role that played in the series. Wakka being the religious follower of Yu Yevon in the teachings. Like, every single character was great. Every single character had a purpose. I don't feel in a game that has 8 or 9 characters you can use, for you to like every single one is one of the most impressive things, and it's one of the few games that has ever done it for me. Turn-to-turn combat, I mean, that's never going to hold up. We're in 2016. That's an old style of game. That's the only real knock I can give it, is that doesn't hold up super well. Also, the other thing this game has that's kind of just a recurring negative of RPGs is you can overgrind and you can make the final couple battles lackluster to the point of you can walk into Sin with like 9,999 across the board and just overkills everywhere. So those would be my 2 negatives on how the game holds up, but part of that's it just being an RPG. As far as some of the other positives, the mini games and side quests are some of the best I've ever seen in a game. Blitzball is one of the best, and I'd actually want to say Blitzball is the best mini game to ever be put into a video game. The fact of you can go and recruit guys pre-game, post-game, during the game, steal the Albed's goalie because that fucker was level 20 off the bat. Just all the different things you're able to do with it. The story still holds up extremely well. It is one of the ultimate RPGs between the sphere grid, the character customization, the weapon customization, all the different things you're able to put in the game and things you're able to do with the game. It's, like I said, my personal favorite of all time. And if I had to give it a how it holds up rating, I would still stay with a strong 9 out of 10. Like I said, a little bit of a dip from how I remember it as a kid, which was the greatest thing I've ever seen, but still, great game, 9 out of 10, beautiful RPG.